Do you want to know what my number one response is to men that message me, email me, and there's lots of them? How do I go about changing? This is going to be my number one answer. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Baldwin, and if you are coming through, please do let me know. Please press the love heart button. Please do comment down below that you're watching and share if you fancy it. What's happening? Hope you're good. So at the very start of the video, I was just talking about this being my number one response to men that email me or message me about how do they go about changing their lives. How do you go about doing that? I think the first thing that I want you to do in the comments down below is, number one, put honestly if you lie to yourself. In this comment here, put whether you lie to yourself and be honest. The number one response that I put to people when they ask how do they become a better man, how do they change, how do they become a better husband, a better father, more focused on their fitness and health, my number one response is stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. That's going to damage the ego for some of you. You're not going to like that. But too many of you are lying to yourselves. Lying to me, lying to your partners, lying to your kids. When you turn around and say, yeah, everything's going to be alright. Yeah, everything's going to work itself out. Yeah, I'm putting in all the effort, as much effort as I possibly can to be the husband that my wife needs me to be. Yes, I'm leading by example to my kids as you hold your mobile phone and you scroll down Instagram or you're replying to a work email. Or you decide to work at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, being on your laptop, while your wife's sitting there wondering why you're paying more attention to your laptop than her. The men questioning why that wife has left them. Lying to yourself if you think that you're not going home and taking out all of your anger and your frustration on everyone that you love when you get through the door. When everyone's treading on eggshells back home because they don't know what mood you're going to be in, because they don't know what's happened. You're lying to yourself if you think that your career or your work is not dominating your mind space or your emotions. Folks just go around BSing themselves all the time thinking that they've got it all figured out and all squared out, when the reality of the situation is you're absolutely crumbling. There's no structure, no control. Yet we constantly go on that hamster wheel of emotions that everything's okay, that everything's tickety-boo. Now in the comments I want you to be honest. Don't shy away, because you have to, for change, accept the realities of where you are and what you're doing. You can honestly look yourself in the mirror and turn around and say that you're showing up, that you are being the husband that your wife needs to be, that you are being the role model that your kids need, that you are doing everything possible to stay alive as long as you possibly can in a health perspective, that you are not over excessively drinking, that you are not allowing your career, your business, your work to dictate your moods, that you are not allowing your ego or your stubbornness to stop you from progressing in life. When I came out of the Marines, when I was in the Marines, I was always lying to myself. Always. I always thought that everything was pretty normal. I always felt that I was showing up in my marriage. I always felt that I was being the best role model. And the truth of it, guys, is that I let everyone down because I was lying to myself. And that ended with the divorce because of my lying to myself and not failing to recognize or accept that I was an arse, that I was selfish, that I didn't think of other people, and I used to cover that up with lies. So the number one way to change, the number one way is to stop BSing yourself. Because nobody is coming to save you. There is no knight in shining armor coming to save you. No one's going to come along and make you a better individual. Only you are. Only you can get off your backside, drop your ego, stop lying to yourself. Because until you get to that point where you stop lying to yourself, you will never change. You will never move forwards. You will never reach a higher level of thinking. You will never reach elite operator status or elite mentality or elite decision making, because it's all based on lies. When you can be pure, as I would call it, you can be truly honest with yourself, you can look yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm 100% putting in the work. I'm 100% moving forwards in the direction that I want to go. Until you get to that point, nothing is going to change. It might do for a few weeks, mate. For a few weeks, life might be great, tickety-boo, but then it's all going to come crashing down because you can't build a life around lies. You can't build foundations to change around lies. It's the way it is. So, in the comments below, I want you to be honest about what you lie about. If you're ever going to change, if you're ever going to put yourself on the line, it's in this forum. This is like the Man Coach show. This is where we try to raise awareness, raise levels of or standards of living. And if you want to change, if you want to move forwards, you've got to stop lying and you start being honest with yourself. It's the first framework that we touch on the 5-day challenge, which starts, by the way, next Monday. And if you haven't registered for that, stop hiding. Stop burying your head in the sand. Get yourself on that 5 days. Get yourself some insight into where you're going, because it's going to be eye-opening. This is just a little snippet. Me talking to you here is a snippet of it. 5 days, man, is going to flip your world upside down. And if you're too afraid to face the truth, then don't do it. If you're a snowflake, don't do it. Keep living that lie. But I promise you, I've been working with enough men, I've experienced enough of it myself, nothing is going to change for you. Super positive one, Jay. Just being honest, boys. Huh? I just want the best for you, and it only comes with intent.